because one, they want to see that you're there for them on a consistent basis, and two, they want to know that you know the information that they need. And
Right.
the more time goes by, the more diluted their excitement gets.
Okay, well, I did follow up with them immediately after the event and thanked them for being there and told them how excited I was for them, you know, for whatever their why was. Like the one lady wants to brighten people's lives by putting the jewelry on and seeing how that changes them. The other one wants to earn a certain amount of money per month because she's going through a divorce. And so I included that why in my thank you for being there.
Well done.
Then, one of them I've been texting back and forth with. We were supposed to follow up last night, but then it didn't happen.
Okay.
But we texted. So we're supposed to follow up tonight. And then the other one I'll follow up with today. Perfect.
Awesome. That sounds great. And number 3, tell me about what your follow-up plan is with her.
I need to get, you know, I feel really bad because she's the friend of the friend, and I need to get her contact info.
Okay.
I let her slip out without getting her contact info, so that's my bad.
Did you not have it from the Women's Expo? I thought you met them at the Women's Expo.
No, I met her at Healed with a Kiss. But
Healed with a Kiss. That's right. Did you
I met the one gal at Healed with a Kiss, but the other one is a friend. She wasn't there.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Understand. Okay. So yeah, I would send a quick text and see if you could get that contact info.
Yeah, we'll do that today.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so let's work on this phone calling system, and this will be helpful to both of you because you're making follow-up or recruiting follow-ups. Tom's making appointments from networking opportunities that he's already been at. And so this will be helpful for both of you in totally different aspects of business, but it still comes down to making phone calls. So this is a really effective tool that it's amazing that, I mean, literally, if you do these first 3 steps consistently, your closing rate actually increases, all because of these first 3 steps. And if you notice, you're not talking about your product, you're not mentioning your company name or anything. It's the way that we make people feel, and it brings down the sales walls that people have. You know, all of us are old enough to remember when our phones were all connected to the wall, and at 7 p.m. the phone would ring and we'd answer it, and hi, this is AT&T, and we're calling to help you switch your long distance company, and da-da-da-da. And they would talk as fast as they can, hoping we wouldn't hang up, right? Okay. So we all remember that. And you know, you're calling people who you've met or referrals, and it's not quite as bad as, you know, AT&T. But as soon as we hear the word AT&T, can you feel that need to just hang up the phone? Okay.
I'm so glad you mentioned this because I've made phone calls this week, and you know, afterward I tried to put myself in their shoes, and I can kind of feel that where they are, and I was trying to find how to turn that around. So I'm so glad. This is great timing.
Okay, awesome. So let me tell you, I have a gal who has no fear. Like, she will talk to anybody in any store. She will get on the phone all day long. Like, she has no fear. And she sells a product that's a home spa product. And with this product, one of the things that they do to get new leads and to find new customers is during Teacher Appreciation Week, she'll go into schools and do quick little mini spa treatments for the teachers in school. And she had done this one year, and you know, you get the secretary, it's the first person you get when you call it a public school. And the second year she did it, and she says, I used these first 3 steps on the phone calling system, and I couldn't believe how much more receptive and how much more willing the secretaries were to talk to me when I went through these first 3 steps versus how I did it the year before. So it was kind of fun to see that change, and that she could clearly see how different things went because of it. Okay.
Mhm.
So with this phone calling system, the whole goal with this is to make it conversational, to go back and forth, and to bring down people's sales walls, and that they feel comfortable with this and that we're making a connection with people. And so we want to make sure that they're being allowed to chat, okay? Because some people will try really hard to cram these first three steps into, they do all the talking the first three steps, and then they stop and expect the other person to talk. You have to do one step, pause, let them talk. Second step, pause, let them talk. Third step, and our hearts get racing and we get a little nervous. And so you're not abnormal when you end up kind of cramming all three of it into one, but it doesn't work as well if you do. So it's one of those things that I'm going to tell you where the most uncomfortable parts are going to be and how you're going to handle it, and it's going to totally be all right. But I promise you, after you've done a half a dozen of these calls, you're going to see how well it works. But you have to try it in a consistent, like, you've got to choose over 1 day or 2 days to make a whole bunch of these phone calls to see the difference. Because if you do it hit and miss, 1 or 2 a week, and you're not getting practiced at it and it's not rolling off your tongue easily, you won't ever see the benefits of it. You have to do several calls at a time. And I'm going to tell you, if I haven't already told you, which I don't think I have, I'm a big, big believer in 2-hour phone calling sessions. In that if you schedule 1 2-hour session a week, you can do a ton of your business in that time and not have to get on the phone too much. Sometimes we have like little hostess coaching calls, or, follow up to just double check we're meeting tomorrow kind of calls. But your bulk of your sales, booking up your month with one-on-ones or parties or recruiting interviews for the week, you will be amazed what you can get done in a 2-hour block. And when I learned to do this, well, and another reason, it's really time saving. It takes us about 10 minutes to get started doing something. And if we get started making phone calls every day for 30 minutes versus we get started once a week, that's 10 minutes over 6 days. You just wasted, a whole bunch of time that could have been used for business. So it really makes it more effective. The other thing that happens is that in 2 hours, you will get some yeses. If you do 15, 20, 30 minutes, you may get all no's, and you're not going to get on that phone possibly for days, maybe a couple of weeks, because your last experience wasn't terribly positive, okay? You will get yeses after 2 hours, okay? And the other thing is you get more fluid with it, and you get more relaxed, and you learn what worked and what didn't. And when okay, that worked, now I'm going to apply it again, and you pick up the phone and you go again, you'll forget what you learned after 4 or 5 days, and you'll do the thing wrong again. You'll go, oh, I did that last week. Why didn't I remember not to do it that way? Okay. It's really important. These 2-hour phone calling sessions make a huge difference in your business. And at my house, I had little kids when I learned how to do this. I mean, really little kids. And so I would do my phone calling session in the evening when my husband got home. And the rule was, if the house wasn't on fire, you couldn't interrupt me. Like, the only reason you could interrupt me was if the house was on fire. Otherwise, you got to pretend like I'm not even here. And we lived in this house that the master bedroom and the kitchen and then the dining room were upstairs, and the dining room was like a loft down into the living room. And so I'd get through about an hour of my phone calls, and I'd run out into the loft, and my husband would be down in the living room. I'd be like, I've booked this many interview calls, and I've done this much in sales, and booked this many parties. And he'd go, all right, you got an hour left, go get back on the phone. And I would go back, and it was so fun because I'd keep track of what all I had done. And you can get so much done in those 2 hours.
What are the magic 2 hours?
The magic, you get a lot done, and you get yeses.
No, what time a day or day a week? What are those?
Oh, that you have to figure out on your own. It depends on your clientele. So some people it's during the day, some people it's in the evening. If you're really doing serious business, like I probably, I really should be doing one during the day and one in the evening, because I find some clients at home during the day and some in the evening. It just, I mean, when I was in my business, I knew I had to. I lived in North Dakota, and I was calling usually people that were two-income families, so most of them worked. So, I was calling mostly people that I needed to call during the evening. So it kind of depends on who your clientele is. And that was before cell phones were as popular as they were. And you know what I mean? Like, you can catch people during the day a little more than you used to. Some people will pick up their cell phones at work. So it kind of depends. But you have to figure out, and the key to that is to keep track of how many dials you made versus how many people picked up. And if 50% of your dials pick up, then you know that's a pretty good time to call. Does that help? Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, it's just, sometimes I don't know if they don't pick up, do I hang up? Do I leave a message?
Oh, that's a good question. I can answer that.
Okay.
So the rule of thumb on that is to call 3 different times during the day. You call 3 different times during the day, and if they don't pick up, then you leave a message. But don't bother leaving a message on 1 and 2 because most people don't return your phone call. Okay? Good morning, ladies.
Hi, your email said 10.
It did?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is our normal time 9 or 10?
9.
I'm sorry. Call me out when I'm being a ding dong. Remember I asked?
Well, we just thought you had to change it because you have a million kids or something. I don't know.
I'm sorry, ladies. Yeah,
We've been sitting here waiting. We've been sitting here waiting for 10 o'clock to show up.
Well, and for some reason, I couldn't find your phone number. I tried calling you, but I couldn't find I don't know. And I was talking to people. So I'm sorry. We've been recording. We haven't got too far. We're talking about the phone calling system, which you've been getting good at. I'm so sorry. Yeah, call me out, Elizabeth, when I don't make sense. Remember, I sent you an email with no link, too, that didn't make sense. So I do. I have lots of client children. No, they're not children, but yeah. Okay, we're talking about phones. Okay, so Donna, are you still there? Oh, there you are. Okay, so my rule of thumb is that you leave a message on number 3. Okay, but the other thing that I do, I remember on the drawing slip, like I'm guessing you're calling some of the people from your drawing slips.
Right.
Okay, so you have on there yes or no. They are they text or not. So what I like to do is I'll send a text and I'll say their name and I say my name. So I'll say, hi, Susie, this is Michelle. We met at the expo. We talked about that beautiful necklace that you liked. I try to live out the name of the company and I would love to chat with you because all of us screen calls, at least I believe most of us do. If you don't know the number, it's like, nah, we'll see who that is. And so I send a text, and a lot of times I'll get a text right back, oh, hi, I didn't know who you were. So then, and I'll say, when would be a good time to chat with you? Could I call you now or, is tomorrow at this time or whatever options you want to give up? So that's how I handle the phone calling and they don't answer. And by the way, this is who we are. I am blah, blah, blah. Okay. I have a PowerPoint in here. All right. So let's go over this phone calling system real quick. Okay, this is incredibly powerful. It really is amazing how all this works. So what we're going to do is the very, very first phrase is we want to say, hello, this is, I'll say, hi, this is Michelle Withers calling. Or I'll ask, hi, is this Donna? Yes. Hey, Donna, this is Michelle Withers calling. That word calling, when you put that on the end and you bring your voice down, hi, this is Michelle Withers calling. That's the cue for them to talk, okay? And I gotta say, it's so funny because I'll know people don't know who I am. And they'll go, oh, hey, Michelle. And I can feel them going, who is this person? Who is this person? Who is this person? About 1 out of 20, if they don't know me, they'll be like, who are you? But seriously, most people fake it and pretend like they know who I am. It's so funny. Like, I just laugh because people are try so hard to be so nice. So I just like, hey, I understand. And the thing is, I know the very next sentence I'm going to connect with them who I am, and they're going to know who I am now. So it's not like I'm tricking them. It's not mean. It's just you stop because we want 3 positive responses. Like there's this whole rule of getting 3 yeses, and we're trying to get these 3 positive responses. Hi, yes, okay. And so I say, you know, if you recall, we met at the Women's Expo and we talked about that beautiful bag you were dying to get. Or we were talking about the, you know, the stones with cooking. Or we talked about that great coffee that, you know, will help you lose weight, okay? But you leave the name of the company out, okay? You do everything you can to prompt their memory without saying the name of the company. Because what did I say happened? You say, hi, this is AT&T calling. Okay, bam, you want to hang up the phone. Okay, when we say company names, that makes people feel sold. Does that make sense? Okay, so then you say, hey, I understand, you know, if you recall, we met at, or I understand your friend is Susie's and you love to cook. It's either, if you've got a referral, it's I understand, blah, 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 that you're a friend of, you know, and Tom, you just had that networking opportunity. If you recall, we met at this networking opportunity and we talked about this. Or you say, I'm that handsome bald guy you met, or, you know, like you can make it, you know, kind of light and funny, or, you know, whatever it is to kind of spark their, oh yeah, I remember. Okay, so those kind of things. And then you, this is the thing that is so, like, so few people do this. You say, do you have a quick minute to chat? Okay. Now, it's really important the way that you state this. If you say, did I catch you at a bad time? That's like sending that negative, yeah, well, I probably am busy. Okay. But do you have a quick minute to chat? That's all you need to say, and you say it that way because it's positive and it lets them know you just want a few minutes. And if people go, well, I only have about 5 minutes, or, oh, I was just on my way out. If there's I don't have a lot of time, or this isn't quite a good time, you just say, no problem. Would this time tomorrow or tomorrow evening, or, you know, you need to do an optional close. Should I call you back tomorrow or later this afternoon? 2 options every time. Don't ask them when a good time to call back is. Let me tell you why. So a lot of your company's products would be sold to moms, okay? And I'm telling you, someone that has 4 children that are homeschooled and run a business, if you ask me when a good time to call me is, I'm going to tell you I don't have time ever, okay? And it's not because I don't care. It's because if you make me step and think about my calendar and which day and what time, and you're just going to wear me out. You need to tell them 2 different options that you have. Because the thing is, if they tell you an option that they have and you're not available that time, then they're really going to be frustrated with you, okay? So you offer 2 times so they can mentally or go to their calendar, look at those 2 times quickly, and go yes or no. And if it's no and no, then give them 2 more options, okay? But I'm telling you, you wear people out when you expect them to come up with a time for you. You need to come up with times for them, okay? I'm telling you, it is a gift to them. Right, Elizabeth and Jen? Like, if somebody asks you when a good time to talk or visit or whatever, do you just go, I don't know, I'm always running,
Right?
right? It's like, oh my heck, it's like, and we know our children are grow up and go away, and we might have more of a clear thought again one day, but I'm telling you, it's like my head is going 16 different directions all the time. And it's okay. I love it. It's self-induced. I chose to have these children. I chose to be self-employed. I send out emails with wrong times in them sometimes. Okay, I'm anything but perfect, okay? So, you know, those kind of things happen. And I'm serious. Like, you have to give them 2 options. It is helpful. Realize that it's helpful, okay? It's not you being pushy or, and you can say, would either of those times happen to work? I mean, you can say it casual and light, not, well, I'd really like to meet with you at this time or this time. You can say it in a way that, if they need to say no, then you go, okay, no problem. Well, let me ask you this. Are evenings or during the day better? Whatever it is, it's still options. Does that make sense why it's so important? Optional on this is really, really important. Now, I'm going to say it's maybe 1 out of 25 times that they say no, they can't chat. If they actually picked up the phone, you got through the 3 questions, most of the time they say yes, they can chat, okay? But if they can't, believe me, if they picked up the phone, that's a really good sign. You want to find out when you can call back. Optional closes every time. And that's the same with when you're closing a deal. It doesn't matter what you're trying to get them to do. Always optional closes. And if you're having a situation where you need an optional close and you're like, I'm not sure what the options would be, Michelle, let me know and I will help you, okay? If they love the stones, you want to get both of these stones you love or start with one, It's always option, not do you want to, okay? The other thing I can tell you about that, they did studies on this, the gal that I learned this from, and it was a senior housing situation. They were calling seniors, wanted them to come in and see this retirement center. And the one group, they went through the exact same questions all the way through. At the end, the one person said, do you want to come see it? And the other person said, would you like to come in on Tuesday or Thursday? The one who said, you want to come see it, booked less than 10. The one who said, would you like to come Tuesday or Thursday, booked over 80. Okay? I love the face. I always love the reaction in people's faces. Why I love webinars and hate teleseminars, okay? Jen's very expressive. She's like, dang, okay? It's really, really, really important that you do this optional close, okay? Because everybody is used to being kind of conditioned to, I just got to say no. I might be sold on something I don't want, okay? But because you're going to get really, really amazing at asking questions, you're not even going to sell it to them if they don't need it. So you have more integrity. You know that you're authentic. You know you're selling it to those who need it. You know you're not trying to convince somebody to get something they don't need. So you don't have to worry about that. You know you're not one of those that are just trying to sell, but you know that people need your product and you're just trying to find the right people. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So from here, you would say something like, well, the reason I'm calling is, and Tom, you just had that networking opportunity. The reason I'm calling is we met at that networking thing, and obviously there wasn't a lot of time to chat, but I would love to get to know you a little bit better. Can I ask you a couple quick questions? You can say that with the expo you were just at, Donna, and I know you gals have Taste of Home coming up, and people fill out those drawing slips and go to the next booth, and I've been at Taste of Home expos. They are so fun, but it is madness. And so you are not going to have time to get to know them. So it's like the perfect statement. I'm so excited to know you. I saw your drawing slip and that you've used the stones before. I'm so excited to get to know you a little bit better and understand your cooking habits more, or what accessories you love to wear, or what your coffee habits are, if that happened to come up. Okay, but it kind of sounds like maybe if it didn't, you don't want to say that, but if it did, okay? And so then you go into these questions, open-ended, okay, where you have 100% curiosity about getting to know that person so you know what you have to offer them. When you find the whole goal is 3 needs, okay? Tom, this is the thing that I think will totally get you over this hump, is when you find 3 needs for the coffee, you have a 90% closing rate. Okay? So, and I probably need to understand a little bit more, but I understand that there's health benefits because it has some, what's the added, there's a word for it, but it's on the tip of my
Herbs.
Added herbs to it, okay? Which I'm a big believer in. Like, me and garlic, we're tight. Like, I have these sociable garlic pills, like gets my husband's blood pressure down. I can get rid of a cold in 2 days, okay? So, you know, all those kind of things are also the health benefits. You want a mental list of all the health benefits. And as you talk to people about their health and what they'd like to improve on, you talk about their weight, why would they want to get weight off? You can always find 3 needs. You focus on those 3 needs. And I'm guessing one of the things in there has to be they like to drink coffee. So
Or green tea.
you get people started drinking coffee who never have. I don't know. But,
My upline.
huh?
My upline never drank coffee until about 4 months ago.
Okay, there you go. You know, my computer's going to die and my kids have stole my cord. Hang on 1 second. I don't want to lose you.
Gotta love kids.
Oh, good job, Lisa. Can you get out your numbers book and work on that? Okay.
I'm impressed you could
All right.
find that quickly.
Say again.
I'm impressed you could find a cord that quickly.
Luckily, we have 3 Dell computers and all the cords are interchangeable. So I just have to remember where my kids, what areas of the house that they keep stashing them in. They keep stealing my cord. Don't take my cord out of my office. Oh, well, it's all right. I love them dearly. Okay, so let's talk about some questions, okay? I want you to have really 5 solid questions that help you find out what of your products is what people need, okay? And what you're going to do, I need to change your form just a tiny bit because one of the things I learned with the group I was talking to the other day, I need to find a piece of paper. Okay, this is one of the mistakes that people are making. Remember, you got to find 3 needs, okay? You don't get to start talking about accessories, Pampered Chef, or coffee until you find 3 needs first. You ask a question, you get the answer, you go, okay, I totally understand. Let me ask you another question. That's all you do. You don't start talking about anything yet, okay? No coffee, no Pampered Chef. You don't start talking, okay? So you want to have a piece of paper with your questions, and then at the bottom, you want to have 3 blanks that you have to fill in because you know what their needs are. Okay? I'm going to show you here. And then, okay, so let me see if you can see that. Is it blurry or can you see it? So it says needs 1, 2, 3. Okay, can you see that? And then you will then fill in 1, 2, 3. Now it's a little bit different because Stella and Dot and Pampered Chef, you're going to have items. You're going to go, well, you're going to want these necklaces and you're going to want this bag. You're going to want that stone. You're going to want our knives. Okay. Tom, my understanding is you have 1 product. Do you have more than 1 product?
We have 3.
3. Okay. But usually is it you're going to want one of these products or do they sometimes want all 3 of them?
Usually by the time they're done, they take all 3.
Oh, okay. But you want to go, okay, because you want to lose weight, the coffee does that. Because you want to be healthier, coffee does that. Because you love coffee, and if you're going to drink it anyway, you might as well drink something healthier. Number 3, you want to match the needs, okay? So you want that phrase based on what you told me, okay? We're going to have a list of 5 questions. You may not have to ask all 5 questions, but we need enough questions that you have 3 needs. Okay, so this is really important when you're booking parties, ladies. When you're booking parties, if they have 3 items they can't live without, that's really easy to book a party. Does that make sense? Okay, because you want to help them get the free stuff. So versus just 1 thing, plus the perks, like, here we go again. Are you back with me? Okay, kind of froze. Did you hear that? If you have 3 things, items on their list, a Pampered Chef wish list that they can't live without, it's much easier to book a party. Do you see that? Okay, so Elizabeth, I know it's like makes your heart pound and you just want to get off the phone as quickly as possible. But if you can take a deep breath, you can ask some more questions. You're going to book more parties if you know more of what they need, okay? Or even the fact that their party is more likely to do better because stones are on sale this month, okay? Have you used stones before? Do some of your friends use stones? How many of them would like some of the additional sizes and shapes? Because none of us, when we get our first stone, can afford all the ones we want, right? You should see how many I have now. Holy cow.
Love my.
And everybody needs one with a lid. I hate that my 9x13 doesn't have a lid that fits. Just annoys the heck out of me. Okay? Because I have the smaller one that has the lid, the pretty cranberry one. But do you see what I'm saying? So I know I could sell this stuff. You laugh, but I won't, but I could. Anyway, I can sell accessories too. I'm sorry, I can't sell coffee. But well, I can, but not the same way I could the other stuff. But that's the thing. It's like when you find 3 things that they think they can't live without, okay, and I'm sorry. I mean, it's almost all direct sales is a want, not a need. I mean, that's just the way it is. But people still have reasons that it will make their life better, more fulfilled, whatever it is, okay? So, and the thing is, this is the same thing going to go with recruiting, except with recruiting, I help you figure out their motivational style. I don't know if you've all seen that video yet or not, or seen the script, but you've got to find 3 needs before you try to recruit. Because if you just focus on the fact they need money, or you just focus on the fact they love the product, if you only do one thing, you're not going to close them as often. You have to keep asking questions. Okay, let me ask you another question. Okay, that phrase is really important because you go, okay, ask them a question, then what do I do? Can I just tell them about how great the product is? No, you have to fill in 3 boxes before you get to start talking. Okay, that will slow you down, Miss Elizabeth. Okay, so those 3 things. I know she just wants to get off the phone so bad. And my heart goes out to her because, I mean, she's just very honest about it. Her heart's just pounding and she's just like, please just say yes and let me get this over with. But we have to care more about the other person enough to slow down and ask them questions. Okay, that makes you seem more authentic. Because Elizabeth, we totally know that you just want to help people get all the Pampered Chef they could have because it's just so much fun and this great stuff. Like your heart's in the right place. But our hearts don't show that's how we feel if we're foaming at the mouth, okay? We have to listen more than we talk. It's just the way it is, okay? We all know that the people we like the most are the best listeners, okay? That's what you have to become, is the best listener. And you do more sales. It's really kind of amazing that you can talk less and sell more, but it's true, okay? So, Tom, tell me, I want you to tell me 3 benefits of the coffee, and then I'm going to help you, each of you, write down 3 to 5 benefits of your products, what's unique about them, how they help your life, all those kind of things, okay? And questions. So Elizabeth has got some pretty good ones because she's been working on her drawing slip for her booths. So I've seen hers, but yours they have to change in the fact that they can't be multiple choice anymore. But you can also use one of my favorite that a lot of you've heard me say, on a scale of 1 to 10. So, for example, Donna, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you to accessorize before you leave the house? Okay.
Right.
Some people could care less, and some people want 6 pieces on, right? Okay. And when you go, well, a 6, okay, well, what item do you need to have on to leave the house? Like, what's that? Are you a necklace girl? Are you an earrings girl? Me, I'm top to bottom. I sold jewelry, so I know how to layer, and, you know, I like lots of pieces on. So when you find that out about a person, that also helps you. Well, gosh, they're going to like stuff. You know, tell me about, do you have one handbag you live by, or do you like to switch it out and have it match? Which kind of person are you? All those kind of things. Okay, Tom. So I can give Pampered Chef and accessory examples really easily. So let me help you with the coffee one. Tell me the 3 main perks of the coffee. Perks. Ah, that was kind of.
Clarity of mind.
I love when Elizabeth laughs with me. I'm so sorry. Tom, say that one more time.
Clarity of mind.
Clarity in mind, it clears your thought process?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it actually calms your mind, like for ADD people.
Cool.
Yep. It actually gets them off the medications, to be short about it. That's the Energy and Mind coffee. The weight loss coffee, the Burn and Control, is a weight loss, of course, which has many benefits.
Okay, so tell me the benefits. Like, I need to know the nuts and bolts, like the guts of this.
Well, number one's weight loss.
Okay, I understand weight loss, but
What usually follows weight loss is you have better health, you have better energy, you have better
Okay,
activity in
slow
life.
slow down, hang on. Okay, but how does the weight loss, how is it better than some other weight loss product? Why would somebody choose to do this versus Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, Isogenic, what makes this one unique?
What makes it so unique is,
Is-
okay, put yourself in the place of someone who drinks coffee. You drink coffee every day, right? It's not a supplement. It's something you do every single day. You don't forget coffee in the morning before you leave home.
Okay, so it's easy.
With the shake in your head, yes.
Tell me about,
And
tell me
the
about
supplement,
them
if you have to buy a weight loss program, you have to put out extra money. You're already buying your coffee. That's not changing at all.
Okay,
So that's a benefit. You're already doing it. You already have the habit. You're not changing a habit. You already have it.
all right.
That's probably the easiest benefit. Is all you're doing is you're changing brands.
Okay,
You're not making a brand new habit.
okay. So Tom, this is where I want you to change, like really dig deep and decide if this is the kind of change you want to make. One of the things you said is you're drinking coffee every day anyway, right? Okay. That's the question that I want you to go, you know what? When I make assumptions, I don't get to know as much about people. Okay.
Right.
And that's the thing. You just don't get to know as much about them. So if you ask them, tell me a little bit about your coffee drinking habits. Tell me a little bit about how much you drink and when you drink it. Okay. Because there might be somebody for some reason, I don't know. I know most people drink coffee are likely to drink it in the morning, but you might have someone who doesn't, or you might have someone who loves Starbucks, or you might have someone who drinks it all day long, or you might, you need to understand their habits so that when you explain how to fit it in their life, I mean, if they love to go to Starbucks, obviously they got to find a different way to do it because they're brewing their own coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't take it to Starbucks and have them done for them, right? I mean,
well, yeah, I go there and I'll just give them my stick of coffee and say, would you mind adding that to it?
Oh, okay. So there is a way to do that.
Oh yeah, it's a stick.
Yeah, that's what I need to know. Okay, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Whatever their habits are, then you go, look how easy this is going to be because this is what you already do. This is how you simply make this tiny little change, and then you're drinking this coffee and you're getting these health benefits and you lose weight at the same time.
Right.
Okay, but when you use that assumption question, then you know so little about them that then when you explain how to make it happen, that you're making, and they go, but that's not how I drink coffee. I go to Starbucks. I don't make it in the morning. Or I do make mine in the morning. I would never go to Starbucks, or, or I don't drink it till I get to work. How am I going to have it at work? Or, do you see what I'm saying? Like, the more you find, because people they come up with objections. And the worst thing, okay, like this is, okay, you hear salespeople, trainers tell you all the time how to overcome objections. Has everybody heard that phrase before? Overcome their objections. When you understand their life and you fit their product to their life and all the things they've said, and you help them know exactly how it's going to fit what they have going on, you don't get as many objections. And when you're focused on why they want it and their perks out of it, they're much more likely, let's say this is a situation that is more in a recruiting situation than any other thing. But I don't know if my husband will support me. I don't know if I can find the money for the kit. I don't know if, there's all these like whys. But when you focus on what's in it for them, and the money they're going to get and the perks they're going to get through the company and the, personal growth they're going to have and all these things. And you only focus on what's in it for them instead of talking about why you like it. They're going to be, but, and it's because they don't know if they're really going to get all those perks for themselves. It's so important to focus on their whys and leave yours to the side. Okay, because they're much less likely to have concerns you have to overcome. That's like a really bad way to go about it. It's just not the most productive way. Okay, so Tom, I really want you to put these questions that you instantly ask people, and I want you to answer it yourself and go, oh, was that a yes, no, and did I find out very much about that person? And if you're having a hard time figuring out how to make it open-ended, send me an email, send me a text. I will totally help you, okay?
Yeah, no.
Because it's like you want to do this so bad, but you've got a couple habits that if you'll just tweak those questions a little bit, you're on the right track. You're totally on the right track. But tell me a little bit about how much and when do you drink your coffee during the day, okay? So you talked about weight loss, convenience. You've got clarity of mind. So tell me the average person who drinks the Clarity of Mind coffee.
The average, well, everybody drinks that. Both coffees are very commonly drank by everybody. There's no one particular person over another.
Okay.
I know for myself, my wife, we'll usually drink our energy coffee around noon. Because by then you're starting to get kind of bogged down from you're just getting too much coming at you.
Right.
And just help you calm your brain and just things just kind of settle out and off you go again.
Okay. So
other people drink it early in the morning, so there is no real rule as to when.
Exactly. So there's another reason for an open-ended question.
Right.
If you ask somebody, you can say, and you can kind of use this tip that you were learning from the other gentleman. And, I find a lot of times people will have that time of day where they kind of hit that wall or their energy kind of drops. Some people are in the morning, some in the afternoon. If you have that, what time of day is that for you? And then you ask, what would it do for you if you could keep your energy up during that time? What would you do at that time and how would that feel?
Right.
Okay. Can you feel how that's different than just, hey, most people hit a wall, so you'll want this because most people hit a wall?
Right. Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just, but like I said, this is a situation where that, because, so often people, have that time of day. I mean, for me, it's like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, okay. So, but you got to use that with like this open-ended, tell me more about you. Tell me more about your situation and do everything you can to make a few less assumptions.
Right.
Okay. And there's one more coffee. What's the third one?
It's the green tea.
Green tea. And what does that do?
It's weight loss, and that's the primary function of it. Weight loss and just helps you calm down in the evening.
I have to admit, I think it's kind of funny that these are calming and they're coffees, but it's okay. I just find
the green tea is
my own brain.
The green tea is not a coffee.
Okay. So this is calming. So, and most people drink it in the evening. So I would ask something like, tell me a little bit about your evening rituals. So someone who's maybe a wine drinker who drinks a glass of wine in the evening to come down, would this be possibly a substitute for that?
I would probably do one in addition to. It would be more of an addition too.
Oh, okay. Well,
because just help them lose weight while they're asleep. It really does work.
Yeah, Ms. Bar hopping girls down here. Someone take me bar hopping when I come to Portland.
You too.
They're just having way too much fun. That's why they cook, so they can drink wine at the same time.
There you go. That's what we were talking
about. That's the reason for the wine is to cook.
Right?
I know that rule. Come on.
What is her name? Julia Child. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, exactly. You have to sample it to make sure that it's good.
Absolutely.
Right.
Believe it or not, I graduated from WSU, from Washington State University, and I worked at the ice cream store, and we made coffee and lattes and cappuccinos. Anyway, so I always ended up making the lattes, and they thought it was the funniest thing ever that I would make people lattes and had never tasted it, and I had no idea if I was making them right. But I just followed the recipe. They're like, "You've really never tried one?" I've really never tried one, believe it or not. So anyway, they thought it was beyond funny, but that's all right. They laugh at me. Okay, so how's everybody coming up with questions? Donna, I want to hear 3 questions from you. Have you got some 3 good open-ended questions?
Well, I pulled up my drawing slip that you helped me work with.
You're cheating. No, I'm just teasing you.
What was that?
I says, you're cheating. I'm totally teasing you. You're not cheating. You're working smart.
Well, and so I guess on, as the opener, it would be like on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. How important is it that you wear accessories before you leave the house?
Awesome.
And so I like that one. That was my opening question on the drawing as well. And then me a little bit more about yourself, of how you would typically accessorize yourself. So would that be necklaces, earrings, bracelets?
Perfect. Love it.
And then maybe, based on that, I would ask about, do they typically wear gold or silver, or ask if they've been following the trends on layering different necklaces. And then I would follow up with, would you like to learn more about how you could earn all of this for free?
Okay, so what was the hostess question we come up with, Elizabeth? Instead of asking, would you like to know how to get this for free, you can ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how interested would you be getting a new accessory wardrobe for free? Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, it basically gives people an opportunity to say maybe. If it's yes, no, but it's maybe, they might say no, even though they're like, well, it depends on what I have to do and how much I really get. Okay. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, and they go, well, I don't know, a 7, what do I have to do? Or how many people need to come? Or, what do I really get?
Continue the conversation.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Pampered Chef girls, come on, 3 questions, bring it.
You already heard mine.
Come on, I haven't heard from Jen. What are your 3 questions?
I have the same. You want to read them off my paper?
That's so cheating, you naughty girl.
We work together. It's work smarter, not harder.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, but you're not always together, though.
90% of the time.
Okay.
We don't sleep together. That's about it. Not yet, anyway.
Be careful. You might be accused of being Mormon and sharing the same husband.
We always joke about being sister wives.
Oh, dear. Okay, Jen, come on. Tell me some heartfelt questions that you'd ask people. You got to practice letting them roll off your tongue. Oh, you would need a role play. That's not pretty. Come on, bring it.
I would probably start it off I would probably ask a scale of 1 to 10 question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you cooking in the kitchen?
Okay.
And then maybe follow up with, okay, what have you tried to make your life easier in the kitchen?
Okay.
And how is that working for you?
Okay.
Cheater, that's not heartfelt. That's Michelle's question. It's heartfelt. That's a cheater. She cheated, Michelle. You should make her do it again. That is totally heartfelt.
So, but when you're asking kind of general questions, you still need a little more informational questions before you go to that. Tell me what your favorite kitchen tool is. What is the worst part about cooking? What's the best part about cooking? What meals do you typically make? Are you breakfast, lunch, dinner? Some more of those kind of questions to get to know people's cooking habits a little bit more first.
Okay, so if I were following up with somebody, say that we, let's just say somebody that I met at a show or a past vendor event prior to making our marvelous vendor slip that Elizabeth put together. So I call them up and say, this is Jen calling, and we met at such and such event, and we talked about stoneware.
Mm-hmm. You're
And
going.
then she remembers.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You,
Did I freeze?
yeah.
Or we froze.
Yeah. So we talked about stoneware, and then, so let's say they didn't have any stoneware.
Okay.
What would be the first question I ask them? Like,
You want to talk about stoneware?
right.
Okay. So I'd ask, tell me, you showed some interest in stoneware. Tell me a little bit why. Do you know someone else who has used it, or have you, seen it online? What made you interested in stoneware?
Okay.
I don't know. I just kind of heard, some people bake their cookies on it or say it's better put their frozen pizzas on. I don't know. And
Okay.
if they need more information, the title of my question is polite education. I say, it sounds like you know a little bit about stoneware. Would it be okay if I tell you a few more of the perks of stoneware? You ask permission before you start educating on them. Okay? When you ask
Right.
permission, they stay engaged versus, oh, let me tell you, the stoneware is so great. Da, 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 da. And then it's like, that's when they do that pullback thing and we're all dreading. Okay? When we ask permission, then they're much more likely to stay engaged, and you just, hey, well, let me ask you so some of the basic things you cook. Do you use 9x13 pans often? Are you a casserole or lasagna person? How often do you bake cookies? Like, go over a couple of the basics. Do you cook fries or any sort of potato product like that, or fish sticks in the oven? Find out what they normally cook and then connect it. This is why you're going to love it, because those fish sticks actually come out crispy without having to put them in a deep fryer.
Okay.
Did that help?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. See, I
So,
self-pampered chef. But do you ever get short on time? You're like, man, I want to cook chicken, and yet it's going to take an hour and a half and everybody's starving. Well, we have this cool stone that has a lid on it, and you throw it in the microwave. You're allowed.
When am I going to sign you up?
No. But I'm also just good at selling stuff. Believe me, I can sell a dot too. So, but I have lots of accessories. Not showing it today. Didn't get my accessory going this morning. But okay. So do you see what I'm saying? You did it just like, because there's 20, 30, 60 different ways to use the stones. You need to find out what they cook on an average basis. Don't try to convince them to cook something they don't normally cook.
right.
Commercialing. That's the product that we see at midnight and we think, oh, it's going to change your marriage, make us skinny and save us time. Yeah, right. Okay. No infomercialing. Find out what they actually do, because if they get their stone and use it, they will buy another. But if you
Right.
take them to get something because they might cook something in it and they never use it, you're not going to have a repeat customer. That's the whole thing,
Okay.
guys. Do not get people to buy off of on a impulse kind of buy, because you don't get repeat business or referrals. That's why this is so important. Your business grows when you ask questions, because they buy exactly what they need. They buy that necklace that goes with that outfit that they didn't have a necklace for because you asked those questions. They got the coffee because they're drinking it anyway, and they really had been thinking about being healthier and wanted to lose 20 pounds. Okay? If you get people to impulse buy, which I could do, okay, do you understand? I've done it both ways. That's why I can tell you how to do it. I joke I've made every mistake there is. That's why I can tell you what to do. I've sold for a lot of different things for a very long time. Okay. I promise you, your sales go up when you get good at this. Okay. My sales literally doubled, and I had people telling me that, wow, you're not pushy at all, and we're taking home exactly what we want and will use. I had repeat business, and people were far happier because I made sure I was selling scrapbook supplies, okay? And I found out what their 3 top memories are that they want to make sure they preserve. Before that, I can get them excited about a cute sticker and 16 different ways to use glue dots. Okay, I did it the other way. You know, I joke about here's 16 different things you can do with a chopper, okay? I did it that way, okay? And I did good sales, and I had a title, and I earned a trip. I did it the other way, this way, and I earned the trip in half the time allotted. How many people do you know are putting in that last $50 at 11:59 the night before the trip ends? I did it in half the time, didn't have to think about it the whole rest of the time. Okay, we've all done it. We've all totally done it. But I'm telling you, asking the questions does increase your sales. Okay? Tom, 3 quick questions. We've gone way over. 3 questions.
And let me get to my list here. I've been writing them.
Okay, bring them. Everybody else got put on the spot. What are your 3 questions?
How important is coffee to you throughout your day?
Beautiful. I like it. That's an excellent one. Number 2.
What do you do for a living?
Okay. I would like you to stay with product for 3 to 5 questions first.
Okay.
Stay with product. I get that you need recruits. Totally get that. But if you have them hooked on the product, you'll have a much better salesperson.
Okay. Well, the second question is, what time of day do you feel a cup of coffee is needed for a quick energy boost?
Love it. That is awesome. Okay.
So now I'm down to 2 now, so I need to come up with a 3rd one now.
3rd one. Product.
Which I don't have yet because the other 2 are business related.
Okay.
Of course, the other one is, okay, here's one here. What are your 2 biggest blank problems? And I'll come out.
I would say, what are 2 health concerns you have that you would like, or you know, what's a medication you're on, or what's a health concern you have that you're wondering if there's a solution to other than what you're doing right now?
Okay, that works. Yeah. It was just medical to fill a blank in with, so.
Yep. Okay.
Those are my 3 then.
Do those feel better? How do those questions feel?
They feel good.
Tom, that sounds so much more authentic. You sound so much more curious about a person versus wanting to do a sale.
Yep.
What do you gals think? So, Elizabeth, you've talked to Tom a little bit. Give him a little feedback of how those questions come off. I think we both unmuted you.
There. I did it. I'm a control freak. Don't take my control away from my mute button.
Tell Tom a little bit about what your thoughts are on those questions because you've chatted a little bit.
That sounds awesome. I love the questions. I think it's a better way for you to figure out. And I would change that. What time of day do you feel you need coffee again? What time do you feel you need a pick-me-up? Because I don't drink coffee very often in the afternoon. I'll grab a Dr. Pepper. I'll grab a Pepsi. I'll grab something like that. So maybe instead of narrowing it and leave it broader to caffeine, or do you need a pick-me-up? Because some people grab candy bars at that point of the day, or something else. So at what point of the day do you feel you need a pick-me-up?
And that's good to say because, Tom, you can show them, so let's say they said, well, about 3 o'clock, I get me a Snickers. You said, well, okay, that's one way to get the pick-me-up. What if I gave you an option that you got the pick-me-up and you felt healthier because of it? Tell me how that would feel, an option like that. So Elizabeth's really smart on that.
No, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. So you want to keep those questions in front of you, whether you're face-to-face or on the phone. Keep those questions in front of you because it's going to take a while before they're a habit.
Right.
You will get that way, but it's going to probably take about 3 months. You got to keep those questions in front of you. Okay? And just tell them, hey, I'm going to take a couple notes while we chat. Keep those little prompts in front of you because It's so easy to go back to that kind of leading yes, no question that you usually have used.
Right.
Okay. All right. Use the phone calling system this week. 2-hour phone sessions. You only need to do it once a week most of the time. It depends on how much business you want to do. Use your phone calling session. Ask those 3 questions. Based on what you've told me, fill in their needs. Say exactly what the product is going to do for them. Fill in those needs for them. And you just say, let me ask you another question. No talking about jewelry, Pampered Chef, or coffee until you got 3 needs. Remember, that's the magic number, 3. Okay? Any other questions about this?
No, you've been great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Okay, this has been recorded, so I'm going to stop it